Welcome to the LED Cloud tutorial. To add a new display, use the plus button on the top left corner of your screen, enter in your name, the height and width in pixels, which was provided to you in your implementation packet, the time zone in which the display is located, please note this could be different from where you are located, and the color. Full color for the blade system, single color red for our solo fire, and single color white for our solo ice. Click Create. With the display you've created, you have the ability to update the display with a profile image. Either drag an image into the gray box or use the Upload File button. Whatever image you choose to upload for your display will only be shown in this one spot on the account. It will never show up on the display outside. If you need to edit this image or remove it, simply hover your mouse over the image and use the Edit button or the trash can to delete. The display details on the right-hand side will allow you to edit the basic information. But most importantly, it will allow you to update the brightness schedule. Use the Open Graph to view the 24-hour view of your brightness pattern. The hours are done in military time, and the brightness is on the left-hand side. Simply grab the dot for the particular hour and drop it down to where you need it to go. By dropping the dot all the way down to 0, your display will be black for that particular hour. For those wishing to dim their display overnight, anywhere from 20 to 50% is what we normally see. Adjust for the hours that you need and click Save. You also have an individual hour view of the brightness with the slide bars below that Open Graph button. Click the dot, slide it along the line, find the hour that you need. Remember, this is in military time. Adjust the brightness for that hour. You also have an Adjust Global Brightness option, so if you need the sign to be at 80% for all hours of the day, you can adjust in one simple click. Enter in the physical location of your display. What's the most important part is that zip code, whereas the sign will use that zip code to adjust the weather out on the display. Click the Save button when all set. Anytime you make an update within the display settings, remember to use that Master Save at the very bottom. With this display, we'll go ahead and add in a playlist. On the left-hand side, click the Playlist button. To add a new playlist, use the plus button on the top left. Enter in a name and adjust the transition speed if you need to. The transition speed will act for all the transitions between each individual slide. Click Create. With the playlist that you just created, within the playlist details on the right-hand side, you can adjust the name and the transition speed if needed. To add in a slide to this playlist, either double-click on the playlist or click the Slides tab on the left-hand side. Slides are the individual frames that will now show up on your screen. Most users play about 5 to 15 slides at any given time, but there's no limit on the number of slides that you can show. Use the plus button on the top left to add a new slide. To make a standard slide, enter in the name, the length that you'd like it to run in, either seconds, minutes, or hours. And if you'd like to add in any transitions, use that drop down to select. Click Create to make that slide. Standard slide will be completely empty. There's now no content set within it. Click the small pen icon on that slide to enter into the slide editor. The slide editor is a proportional representation of your display. The black background represents no pixels illuminated out on that screen. To adjust the color of the background, use the drop-down in the top right. You can use one of the pre-selected 9 colors, or make any of your own using the scroll bar and the big color square. Click Choose. You can also enter in the hex code for any particular color that you'd like to work with. The sign will remember the most recent 7 colors that you've worked with. To add in objects, head over to the left-hand side of the slide editor page. The double T at the top will add in your text. We have both regular text and clear text. Clear text is the pixelated text, which is designed for LED displays, so it will never be blurry, no matter what size or style you're working with. Even though it's not something that you might be used to working with on a computer screen, this will look fantastic out on your display. For this example, we'll work with the clear text, the second A button. When you bring out a line of clear text, your object properties will show up on the right-hand side. All objects have the ability to adjust the opacity, work with the alignment to auto-center it, whether it's within the whole page, horizontally or vertically, and adjust the object for your layering. With your text box, you can go ahead and add in any of the wording that you might need, and then adjust the font family. For clear text, the size and styling is tied together as one unit. The first number represents the height in pixels. So for example, we're working with 9:2. The second number represents the style. 9:1 and 9:2 are both the same size, but have different style characteristics to them. The font size will allow you to double or triple. So for example, our size font with the double will go to now 18 pixels tall. At the very bottom, you have the ability to adjust the fill color, which is the internal color of the text, as well as the stroke, which is the border. Stroke is automatically added to your line of text, but you can remove it if needed. Let's go ahead and add in an image. On the left-hand side, use the Add Media button. Media includes the image library, the video library, the live stream option, and your SVG libraries. Let's work with basic images. Select Add Image. The image library will load up with all of our stock content. You do have the ability to upload any of your own files. To upload your own files, click the blue Upload File button. For images, the system accepts PNG and JPEG files. When you click the Upload Files, you'll be able to search your computer to where you have the different objects located. When you have an image you'd like to use on the screen, hover over and click the plus button. Images and videos have the same editing capabilities. Use the blue squares on the corners or the sides to resize both proportionally or disproportionately, and use the blue satellite dot at the very top to rotate on your own. Within the object properties, you have some automatic positioning buttons. If you need to adjust the ordering of your object, use the object order options to send it to the very front or the back, or just one layer at a time. Don't forget about the opacity if you need to tone out that image to bring out what's on the back side. Fit will bring the object back to the original size. Fill is a disproportionate resize to cover the whole screen. And stretch is a proportionate resize. Flip is your mirror imaging. And the rotation will allow you to automatically rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise or clockwise. To add in time, date, or the countdown count up timer, click the Add Time box on the left-hand side. Let's work with the current time. Click the clock icon. The time object will come out, and it's in our regular font, which is our stylized font. Regular font is not necessarily designed for your LED display, so you want to make sure that you're working with a font that's very large, bold, and simple. With your object, you can click, drag, and drop it anywhere on the page. Time and date have similar properties. Use the font family to update the style of the font. Use the font size to make that box bigger or smaller, and change the format if needed. The time and the date objects will update as often as that particular format calls for. Just like a text box, you have the ability to update the fill color and the stroke. To add in a weather object, use the thermometer on the left-hand side. When you bring out the weather, it will have both the temperature outside and a weather icon to represent. With the weather icon, you have the change logo set available on the object properties. Use that drop-down to adjust to a different set. Both the weather logo and the temperature will update every 10 minutes as needed. So if, for example, your location is sunny and then it starts raining in the afternoon, the weather icon will change to a cloud with rain, and the temperature will probably adjust if needed. Temperature format comes in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. To add in any basic shapes, use the Add Shapes button on the left-hand side. Add shapes include circles, squares, and triangles. They work great as color blocking or highlighting different objects. Bring out the object, click, drag, and drop across the page, resize as needed, and adjust the coloring. If you need to arrange the layering, use your object order to send it back. The External Services button on the left-hand side will include Twitter, add a web page, stock information, and the newsfeed. We'll go over these objects in further videos. To save your slide, use the Save Slide button, small floppy disk, on the top blue bar. Once you saved your slide, you can go back out to the Slides tab on the left-hand side. On the slide itself, in addition to the pen icon to get to the slide editor, you have a square to copy. If you click that copy button, it will allow you to copy the slide within the playlist you're working with or any other playlist that you have on this display. The scissors will allow you to move the slide to any other additional playlist. The small trash can will delete, and the dotted square in the right-hand corner, if you click, hold, drag, and drop, it will allow you to reorder the slide within the playlist. As you add in more and more slides will run left to right, one line down at a time, just like a book. The Preview tab on the left-hand side will allow you to watch the slide and all of its additional slides run through as if they were out on the display. You'll see any scrolling text, video, or updated apps. The drop-down on the top blue bar will allow you to select other playlists on the display so you can see the order that those slides run through. The calendar section on the left-hand side will allow you to schedule your playlist to show for particular days of the week, particular time. Let's schedule this as an all-day playlist. To schedule, double-click into the calendar, use the drop-down to select the playlist, click All-Day Event. You can set this playlist to run for one day, or using the calendar icon, push it further out to the future. You can go days, months, weeks, or even years. To get further out into the future, use that top bar to click out to the month, year, decade, and further decades. Once you find as far out as you need to go, start clicking back down till you get to the day area. All playlists can be repeated, so you can repeat weekly, monthly, yearly, or even daily. Click Save. You always need to have content scheduled in order for your display to show anything. If you were to delete this playlist or this event within the calendar and then synchronize, your display would go black until you reschedule content. You can always schedule a time-specific playlist by double-clicking into the calendar. A time-specific playlist has a start time and an end time, whether it's one day, an extended period of time, or it's repeating. A time-specific playlist will automatically override any all-day content that you have saved. During that set time, you would only see the slides saved within that playlist. The two playlists never merge. The file manager on the left-hand side will allow you to upload additional content to use within the account. You can upload MP4s, AVI, or WMV files for videos, PNG, JPEG, and SVG for images. There's no limit on the number of objects that you can upload to the file manager, but each file does need to be under 100 megabytes. To upload any object, either drag and drop into the user media section or use the plus button on the top left to open up file folders on your computer. Find the images or the videos you'd like to upload, select them, and click Open. Those objects now instantly upload here to the file manager, and you can go ahead and add them to any slide that you are working with. The stock media will allow you to see all content that comes standard with the account. Both images and videos are stored here. These objects are great to use as backgrounds. You can put various types of text on top of any of them, as well as images on top of images, images on top of videos, videos on top of images. The user media section has the ability to add tags. Click the tag icon on the top right. Adding tags is a way to filter your images and your videos. You can have as many tags as you need, and each object can be tagged as many ways as you need to. Use the plus button to add a new tag, type in the name, and click Create. To assign a tag to an image or a video, use the pen icon on that individual object. In the Edit Media, start typing in the tag name and then select it. Click Save when you're all set. The Report section will allow you to see how often particular slides are playing on your display. It will count up both the total amount of time that the slide has played and the total amount of plays that it's shown on your display. Once you've made any changes in your account, remember to synchronize your display. Use the cloud icon on the top left to publish your changes. You can click the Publish Changes button on any page, and it will publish all changes that you have out on your screen. This is the only way to update content on your display.